the Boston Red Sox. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I'm suggesting that people might have better things to do, like clean their gutters, things like that. I mean, who knows? But I think that playoff baseball is about as much fun as you can get in the postseason. Now, I know I'm a baseball guy, but I'm sticking with that from a standpoint of good storylines, tension, the building of games. We've talked about it before. The pace of baseball allows the tension in a game to build exponentially. It happens very quickly in hockey. It happens very quickly in basketball. It happens very quickly in football, frankly, although there is building of suspense in football. But anyway, I enjoyed watching a little baseball tonight, but I'll be right back on football tonight on Thursday night.
Let me try and piggyback onto what you said.
Okay.
For what most people who are not baseball fans dislike about baseball is what makes baseball great. What do people dislike about baseball? Way too slow. The slower it is, the more drama that builds.
Right.
You are literally hanging on every pitch.
Yes.
Right?
That is correct.
So in a football game, how many plays do they run? Yes, you're hanging on every play. But you are literally hanging on every single pitch, because if your team's at bat, you're thinking, ooh, could this be a single? Could this be a double?
Yeah.
There's a runner on second with one out. A sack fly is fine, but drive the guy in with a slap single the other way, right? And then if your guy's on the mound, the tension is palpable.
Totally. Yes.
Because there's no way to score runs when your team is on the mound.
Right.
When you are watching a playoff hockey game, that ice can tilt quickly. Same with baseball. In football, your team's on offense. Pick six changes the dynamic that quickly.
Yeah.
There's no offense when your pitcher is on the mound.
Tension fills the gaps.
Yeah.
And the gaps are longer in baseball. And so you have all of this tension that fills those gaps while you wait for the next moment. But it takes a particular type of person that is invested enough to even want to watch a baseball game in the playoffs. So I get it totally, but it's been pretty good so far. That's all I've got.
Want to tell you about Roller Auction, the leader in Colorado auctions for over 45 years. On Tuesday, the former Boston Market headquarters is having an auction for rotisseries, ovens, ranges, reach-in refrigerators, ice machines, walk-in refrigerators, IT equipment, office furniture, and more. Online bidding has started at rollerauction.com. Get notifications about upcoming auctions at rollerauction.com as well. Get what you want at the price you want today at Roller Auction. Time now for the lead.
The lead is presented by Smokin' Dave's Barbecue. It is not just the best barbecue in town, it is one of the best restaurants in town. You can find Smokin' Dave's Barbecue off 36th and Pecos.
7.5-point favorites. I think it's fair to call that a heavy favorite going into the game. Let's look at the last few games and compare it to this one. The Broncos, to me, was a get-right game. Was that a get-right game for you as well?
Which game? The Bengals game.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Get-right game.
Yeah. Right.
To me, after they beat down the Bengals, then you're thinking, okay, now you're going on the road, short week, playing the undefeated champs. Now, I looked at that game as, okay, we saw what you did to the Bengals. Now go prove it against the Eagles. Is that somewhat of a fair statement?
Somewhat, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
So with that, I look at this Jets game, if I'm going to throw a narrative on it. How does this team handle success?
Good.
Meaning they're the belle of the ball right now in the NFL. They just beat the undefeated Eagles. And now they're playing a team that is one of the worst in football, a game they should steamroll the Jets. Will they? So my question is, going into this game, how will they handle success? And to me, when you look at all three of those types of games, I can't think of too many, trilogies that all have strong narratives to them.
Yeah, I think that you're on target. I think that is the question. How do you handle this? You're still in the midst of traveling, being on the road. There's things that go with that. They are finishing up a stretch of 4 of 5 games played on the road. They're coming off, not even arguably, without question, the biggest win of the Sean Payton era, which means the biggest win in this franchise is, well, I mean, the 3 years of the Payton era, but I mean, how far back do you need to go? I mean, all the way back probably to winning the Super Bowl. So that's how big a win that was last weekend for the Broncos. But yeah, and you're playing a team that 9 times out of 10, you'll wake up, roll out of the rack, and take care of your business. But you've got to avoid the one time that doesn't happen. You've got to be respectful because it's a professional football team. You've got to be respectful because of the always somewhat tenuous difference between the best and the worst in the National Football League. I agree. I think the hard games are not the ones that like playing Philadelphia in Philadelphia is hard because it's Philadelphia in Philadelphia. It's not hard to get up for that game.
No.
It's not hard to get concentrating and locked in on that game because you know what you're up against. The problem with the Jets is they've got the 0-5 tag, and the problem is you also know what you're up against there. But you've got to respect your opponent. You just have to. And I know that sounds silly to some people, but this is the NFL. You see weird things on Sundays, and you just don't want this to be you when you've got something or other now starting to build.
Okay, so people have been heaping praise all over the Broncos, and rightfully so. They won a game that many thought that they probably would not win, and they certainly won it in thrilling fashion. Everyone from the national media to the local media to the fans are pumping the Broncos tires. You have heard this many times from players. I don't listen to the media. I don't read what's written about us. Is it kind of good that maybe, I understand that the internet does go over the Atlantic Ocean. I get that. So I don't want to sound like I'm completely clueless that news doesn't travel,
right,
or travel really fast. But maybe is it a good thing that they're over there so they're maybe shielded from all of that praise, so the guys aren't smelling themselves going into a Jets game in which that team is 0-5? Is there a little advantage to being over there?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I see where you're going with it. I don't dispel it. They had to quickly organize after the win on Sunday. They got quickly out of the locker room. They got right to the flight. They traveled all Sunday night into Monday morning. Monday, they were pretty much sequestered, doing rehab, a light workout. So there was work being done. Tuesday, they probably could have, dipped their toe into that coverage a little bit if they chose. And then obviously they were on the field yesterday into a normal week that starts with work on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, a walkthrough on Saturday, game on Sunday. So there are some familiarities to their week this week, but I don't know if you want to find that, you're going to find that. If you're the curious type, if you're curious to see what people are having to say about things, you're certainly going to find it. I don't know how much this team is predisposed to doing it. There's always the human element, the human courtesy of, gee, what are people saying about us? But I would hope that this football team is mature enough, and I will use Quinn Miner's words from Sunday night. It's a mature football team. Well, I mean, you hope that it's mature enough to handle the success as well as work on the failure.
You can say you're a mature team. We're about to find out if they are. So, again, get right game, prove it game. Let's see how mature you are by handling your business against a team you should handle your business against. If they don't look good or they lose this game, then the team is not very mature.
Yeah, I don't I'd have no pushback for that statement.
Okay. I'm going to let you be the arbiter on something because either I'm wrong or the other person is wrong. And I don't remember who asked the question. Somebody in London yesterday in the Denver media asked the question to Sean Payton, is this a trap game? Maybe I don't understand the meaning of what a trap game is, but is it a trap game when your next game is a huge game?
Well,
to you is a trap game. Well, you're supposed to win. You're playing a team that's 0-5. I always thought a trap game was you are overlooking your opponent for your next game. Isn't that what a trap game is? Or do you think a trap game is simply you should beat the team you're supposed to beat?
Yeah, I don't know how the question was offered.
The question was offered, is this a trap game?
Yeah, I don't think there's any such thing as trap games in the NFL. I just, that's my belief.
Yeah.
And
you don't think that when you are playing a team that isn't very good, and let's say for the sake of argument, the Broncos had the Chiefs at home not this upcoming Sunday, but the following Sunday, that there isn't the thought of we should be able to take care of this. Let's start thinking about the Chiefs a little bit.
Not to the point of disregarding who you're playing.
No, I get that, but to a small, listen, anything in the percentage world, if it's 1%,
okay,
then it's valid.
Okay. I mean, if you're trying to squeeze blood out of that turnip, I'll give you that then. I think that this league is so different than so many others. There has to be a level of concentration every week because of the implementing of a game plan, which, in other words, like you just don't go out and hope that a pitcher is going to pitch well in your next game. In football, you have to plan for an offense that you're playing. You have to plan for a defense that you're playing. You're watching film. The way that you prepare for a game is totally different than virtually any other sport because you play once a week. So you have this time to build up. And if you do not have an element of respect for your opponent after 3 or 4 days of preparation, then I'm missing something in the equation. Having said that, I'll go back to your point. If there's just a 1% possibility that you might take the team that you're playing lightly as you look forward to playing another team, granted, the Broncos were coming off consecutive losses, but they took care of business pretty well against Cincinnati, even with Philadelphia coming up. So, yes, I think that probably exists in the human condition. I think it's more the human condition. I don't know if it's a football condition, football team condition, sorry.
To taking a quick look-see at the game, I referred to the Bengals defense is just being simply awful, quite possibly the worst in the league. With that, I think the Jets are saying, hold my beer.
Yep.
Because they have given up 31 points a game.
Yep.
Now, it is understandable that you are giving up points to the Bills and the Buccaneers. 30 points, 29 points, respectively. Aaron Rodgers' debut with the Steelers, 34 points. But the Dolphins put 27 up on them.
Yeah.
I understand why the Cowboys put up 37. That makes sense to me. But we can't go through the entire schedule and say, well, they played great offenses, because the Dolphins are far from that. And I don't know if the Steelers are really that great of an offense either.
Fair. Yeah, it's this is a team that is 20th on offense, 22nd on defense.
22nd on defense in terms of yards.
Total defense.
Yeah.
They are 27th against the rush, and that's the big stat in this game. There's a lot of stats that all are indicative and are all beneficial for the Broncos. The Broncos, for instance, are 5th in defense, total defense, 10th in total offense. Okay, but when you break it down into certain areas, the fact that the Jets give up the 27. I mean, they are 27th against the run, and the Broncos are 4th rushing best in the National Football League. That alone gives the Broncos a huge advantage in this football game because it's their strength against the most remarkable part of the Jets' weakness. So I'm with you on this, Eric. This is the type of game that if the Jets are in this game into the third quarter, late into the third quarter, it's because the Broncos let them be.
Right. The Broncos have an opportunity to more firmly stamp their identity with a running game and to have a more balanced offense. No reason to believe that they shouldn't be able to do that, right? And then I want to flip it over to the offense. I'm sorry, but Pat Surtain and Justin Fields will always be tied together in my mind here in Denver. Always. You had a chance to get this guy. Clearly, the right pick was Pat Surtain. When you look at Justin Fields, I think arguably the best game of his career came against the Broncos, didn't it? He was with the Bears.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, he was unbelievable for a half.
They made him look like an all-pro.
Yeah, you're right.
But you know what? The Jets do have plenty of weapons on offense.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about Fields.
Yeah.
Breece Hall's a player.
Yep.
You know, Justin Fields, he can run the ball. Garrett Wilson, that dude's a player as well.
He is.
And then other than that, they don't really have anything.
And that's it. And that's literally it. Breece Hall is their leading rusher. Justin Fields is their second leading rusher.
Yeah.
And they have really one receiver, including tight ends, one receiver of consequence, and that's Garrett Wilson.
Right.
So they're pretty limited. They give up sacks. Justin Fields holds on to the football. This is a statistical fact. Holds on to the football from snap to throw longer than any other quarterback in the NFL. That's another great matchup for the Broncos, who are very quick to the quarterback. Their speed rate to the quarterback is the best in the National Football League. So, I mean, just in terms of stats, 5 weeks in, this game is a mismatch, but there are very few mismatches in the NFL.
When you look at the Jets stats for receiving, their second best wide receiver. How many catches does he have this year?
Is it like 18 or 13 or 14, something like that? I don't even remember.
Their second best wide receiver is Tyler Johnson. Yeah. He's made 4 catches this year.
4. There you go.
4. He's their second best wide receiver statistically in terms of yards.
Yeah.
Now, Tyler Johnson is averaging nearly 16 yards a catch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They also have Josh Reynolds. Remember him?
I do. I remember Josh. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he has 5 catches for 47 yards.
Yeah.
But I guess the question is, when you look at the way their offense is set up, it's based on throwing the ball to the running back, throwing the ball to the tight ends, paging Mr. Singleton. You better be on your game.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you've got some things that you've got to take care of, as you do in every week. It'll be interesting to see how the Broncos respond. Hey, look, they've been playing football in London for 18 years. So, I mean, it's not the novelty that it once was, but there is no doubt that it is different. You are in a different place. There are there's different elements of the culture. There are, as Bo Nix said yesterday, there aren't things quite as readily available as you're used to in terms of your recovery or whatever the case may be day to day. So there are some differences, and you've got to handle those differences. I mean, you just got to handle them. And that's where the Broncos are. It's also where the Jets are. So I will be surprised and pretty disappointed if the Broncos don't take care of their business this week, because you used the term already. Really, I see this as a take care of your business game. Do what you're supposed to do, move on to the next.
Coming up after the break, Kaidon Salter is going to be starting on Saturday against Iowa State. Should he be at this point? That's next. Everyone has their favorite sports bar. Mine, the Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch, DTC, and now in Parker. All their locations are everything a sports bar should be. An upscale menu with 12 different burgers, outstanding wings, and my favorite, the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. They've got every game on the NFL Sunday Ticket, MLB Extra Innings, NHL Center Ice, NBA League Pass, plus soccer, rugby, and UFC. Sportsbook, great hangout bar, great for private parties. The Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch, DTC, and now in Parker. They are the sports bar.
Ferguson's Heating and Cooling is the best in Denver, and their customers agree. Ferguson's has 165 5-star Google reviews, and here's one from Betsy. Highly professional, prompt, and honest. I switched to Ferguson's when I became aware my former company was trying to sell me a whole new system I didn't need. Ferguson's is an honest, working, family-owned business that'll give you a fair price, the highest quality parts and equipment, and they always show up on time. You can trust the Ferguson family like you trust your own family. Go to fergusonsheatingandcooling.com.
Everyone has their favorite barbecue spot. Mine, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew. My favorites, slowly smoked ribs, smoked corned beef Reuben, smoked meatloaf with a portobello balsamic cream sauce. Don't forget about Smokin' Dave's 16-hour smoked brisket and pork with one of their 4 homemade barbecue sauces. Great sides, you bet. Barbecue beans made with pork and brisket and their southern corn bake. Man, you got to try it. Plus, they have amazing non-barbecue entrees on the menu. Go where I go, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew in North Denver.
Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos in Blackhawk have another incredible promotion. They'll be giving away a Ford Maverick Tremor truck or over $25,000 in cash the weekend of October 24th. Daily cash drawings are every 45 minutes between 10 a.m. and midnight. Players can earn daily entries with every locked-up jackpot or by redeeming players' points on their players' cards. Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos, loose slots, phenomenal promotions, great food, and a family-owned casino that treats you like family.
Spice up your next night out at Nola Jane and Lodo. Authentic Cajun cuisine like andouille sausage gumbo with dirty rice, crawfish etouffee, as well as 6 different po' boys like soft-shell crab and shrimp. Come in before or after a game at Ball Arena. Host a party or party on their rooftop deck overlooking Market Street during happy hour from 11 a.m. to 5. Plus, Nola Jane caters, delivers, and the kitchen is open late night. Make Nola Jane your new favorite spot to eat, drink, and party like it's Mardi Gras.
Ever wondered where city and county fleet vehicles go when they retire? Now's your chance to find out and score big. Imagine driving away with a great deal on a reliable vehicle. For over 45 years, Roller Auction has been the trusted source for government fleet vehicles and equipment. Trucks, SUVs, sedans, and more, all selling to the highest bidder. Don't miss out. Visit roller.bid/hot takes to get auction updates today. Your next vehicle could be just a click away.
And welcome back. Hot Takes Goodman and Haertl. If you are looking to do a little tailgating, for the Broncos, clearly not this weekend unless you're going to be in London. I think it would be difficult, and with all due respect to Smokin' Dave's, I don't know if their stuff carries well to London. But if you are tailgating at Empower Field, if you are tailgating up in Fort Collins, if you're tailgating up in Boulder, highly recommend. You go to Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew. Why? Because they can easily not only take care of your tailgate for you, but honestly, they could probably make it better than you do. And I love to cook. I think I'm a pretty good cook, but I can promise you they can make it better, far better than I can. So this would be a good example. You get a full slab of St. Louis ribs, a whole chicken, half pound of pulled pork, half pound of beef brisket, serves 4 large sides as well, 6 pieces of cornbread bread for up to 5 to 7 people, and it's going to cost you less than $100. Dollar cost averaging. When you go to the store, you're not going to do better than what they could do for you. You're not going to do better than the quality that they could do for you. With that, go to Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew. You can find them off of 36th and Pecos. And is somebody screaming at Fox 31, or Alex, is that coming from you?
No, it's coming from some of the Yahoos in the morning.
What are they yelling about? They had a good show today?
I have absolutely no idea, and I
don't care.
Probably need to keep it that way.
Okay. There's a door in the sports office.
I was thinking about closing it.
Okay.
I was thinking.
Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna cut you a deal. Okay, just for the sport of it, we're gonna do what's trending. There's a graphic that comes up.
Okay.
I think it probably comes up for maybe 5 seconds, if that. Let's see how I know where you're at in the sports office.
No chance.
I want to see how spry you are. Can you get to the door right when we roll the video for the bump in? And can you get back in time? Would you to challenge yourself, Mr. Pickleball King?
I'm going to challenge myself, but I don't like my odds.
Okay. Right. In 3, when I say mark, then you go. Yeah, take out your earpiece.
All right.
3, 2, 1, mark. Time now for What's Trending.
What's Trending is presented by Ferguson's Heating and Cooling. Your family should trust the Ferguson family for all your heating and cooling needs, and you'll see why they have over 165 5-star Google reviews. Make an appointment today at fergusonsheatingandcooling.com.
Unbelievable. And time to spare just to kick back, crack open a beer, put your feet up. Well done.
Of course, I need, mouth to mouth.
Well, with all due respect, you're looking at the wrong guy. Well, if you're choking, you know what? If you're laying there and, you're kind of drooling out of your mouth, I might have to get like a sanitary napkin. Then I'll help you out.
Thanks for the sanitary napkin. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Oh, my God.
So the Buffs have a tough one against Iowa State. Kaidon Salter is going to be the starting quarterback. The Buffs are now 2-4. Looking at their schedule, it certainly looks daunting, doesn't it?
Yes. They've
with
got
that
Utah on the road next. I mean, and then Arizona. Wins are going to be very difficult to come by on this schedule for the rest of the season. The question for me now is how much enthusiasm and competitiveness do they continue to have in an effort to try to get somewhat better? But I don't know. I mean, is this something that carries over to next year? Because doesn't everybody transfer out or transfer in?
Well, if they don't play Juju, he might transfer out.
Yeah, he might.
And that's my point. You're 2-4. I don't know where they're going to find 4 more wins. They might get 4 more wins to hit a bowl game. But is it honestly time to see what Juju can do? The season's not over yet. If they lose this game, then I think. Should it be this Saturday, though? Or wait to see what happens against Iowa State? You're likely sitting at 2-5, and then it is pretty much over.
I don't know what kind of intestinal fortitude Juju has. I know he's a very talented player.
Yep.
He's only 17 years old. I don't know how much.
Is he still 17?
17, maybe he's 18. But the point is that he's a very young, very, very young player. Iowa State is a ranked team on the rebound coming in. Don't know if this is a real good opponent to throw him to the Cyclones, as it were, and see how he does. I think that part of the question here is, can you find the right opponent for him to start against? I don't know I think Iowa State this weekend is going to be very difficult.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you, Utah on the road next week is going to be even worse, in my opinion. So you got to be. So I don't know where he's at in terms of his confidence and where is his confidence? Is it strong? Is it unshakable? Or is he still kind of trying to walk softly and figure it out? I mean, if it's the latter, this is probably not a good week for him to start.
Julian Lewis is 18 now. He turned 18 on September 21st. And Julian Lewis and I have something in common. And I say this only because today happens to be my birthday. No, please stop. If you listen, it would be heartfelt if you remembered. Not that I told you.
No, I don't ever.
I remembered your birthday, by the way.
This was
your last chance to say happy birthday with us doing a show.
When is my birthday?
I think your birthday is sometime in the summer, right?
Well, you narrowed it down.
Well, wait a minute.
Well done. Well, I don't.
Stop. No,
I mean, hold on. You're not going to sit here and say to me, well, I said it's a happy birthday to you on your birthday. And then I'm asking you when my birthday is. I didn't know it was your birthday. Otherwise, I am the type of person that would have said, by the way, a very happy birthday to you today.
Well, thank you.
You're 1 year closer to me now.
Yes. The reason why I'm bringing this up is I can relate going to college at 17.
Oh, right.
I had a late birthday.
Yep.
That's why I'm bringing it up. As a matter of fact, he scored better than I did. His birthday is September 21st.
Wow.
Mine is October 9th. So there are plenty of disadvantages to being young. Like a lot of parents are going to hold their kids back for academics and sports. In this case, Juju's parents and my parents were exactly the same. Let's get this little fucker out of the house as quickly as we can and into preschool so we start the clock. Now, academically, I was probably behind. Physically, I was certainly behind. My point is he is finally 18 years old. The Broncos, the Buffs have a bye week after this game.
Yeah, they do.
You can make the case that this is Kaidon Salter's, barring injury to Juju, because I think he will start in 2 weeks, don't you think?
Okay, on the road against Utah. Well, I mean, at that point, you're 2-5.
Really good...
I mean, it is what it is, right? When you're 2-5, unless they play, I mean, if they play well tomorrow or Saturday, and find
doesn't matter if they play well. They're going to be 2-5. It's about making a bowl game. It doesn't matter if they play well. Start the clock on this kid. And oh, by the way, if you don't feel he's ready, to start, then I'm wondering, while the carpeting looks great, which is the talent of Juju, if he's not ready, then I don't want to know what's underneath the carpeting.
Okay, that's fair enough. I would say that if they won tomorrow, Saturday
if they win,
Iowa,
yes.
Then Salter is going to be starting at Utah.
Yes.
If he plays moderately well. I mean, that's just kind of a no-brainer.
I'm just talking about, Bruce, a loss.
Yeah,
I don't care how you lose. If it's a last-second field goal, if they lose by 100, it doesn't matter.
I could see that.
You're 2-5. It's time to start the clock on this kid, to give this kid some experience and give him the confidence you're the guy moving forward for sure. I mean, honestly, it looked a little tenuous, slightly tenuous when, they brought in the other kid, the third string quarterback to start, because this, and who I am, referring to is Staub, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, when Staub started, I'm thinking this guy has 3 years left of eligibility. If this guy turns out to be any good, Juju might transfer. Right?
Yeah. Well, you got to give him, I would say, you talk about, that you trying to, figure out if he's the guy of the future. I think that probably any moves that you make right now might be designed to make sure that he is coming back. Right.
That's another reason why you play him.
Yeah. Yeah. And that makes sense to me. And I don't know how that relationship is, and whether he's a patient young man or, I don't know what the motivations are. You would hope that he would hang in there. Obviously, this is a very highly regarded talent. So you hope that he can hang in there and be patient and wait his turn. It's just hard to find young people that do that in this day and age right now. I think Staub is one of those guys, certainly. I think he's proven that. But yeah, I mean, I would think that you're probably right. You get whipped by Iowa State, then you have 2 weeks to prepare, and that's a really good. Even though you're going to play a team that is on the road, that is not a good matchup for you, a team that is built from the trenches on out, in a very difficult place to play. But at that point, roll them out, see what you got, and let the kid, cut his teeth a little bit. I mean, at some point he's going to have to do it. So, and I do think that you need to start to set the table for the next year, which is a hard admission to make, but 2-5 kind of takes care of that, doesn't it, Eric?
It does.
I think
And you know
it
what?
does.
Juju's already played a couple of series this year.
Yeah.
If they did not feel he was ready to go out there, he wouldn't have gone out there. They told us, we want to see what this kid could do
Okay.
at least for a couple of series. I guess the question is, do you worry about ruining this kid's confidence?
That was my initial point. That I don't know where he is in that regard. I don't know if he is just naturally a really confident kid. Obviously,
I would think he is.
I would think he is.
Yeah.
But he's been one of the great challenges when you move up to a Division I level is putting not all of the success that you've had behind you. There's a reason that you're there. You're there because you've excelled at a high level at the high school level, right? And you've been very, very good. Now, all of a sudden, you have to learn to deal with a little bit of failure. You have to learn the fact that others around you are as good or if not better than you are. There's a learning curve that goes with that. And sometimes it's not immediate. And especially in a position like quarterback, which we talked so many times about in so many different ways, the complexity of the position. So, they know that. I mean, they're with this young man every single day. They know what they've got. And if they put him in a situation like that in 2 weeks at Utah, it's probably because they think he can handle it.
And the season's over.
And the season's done.
And honestly, if you're sitting at 2-5 and you're a senior, you can't look around the room and say, hey, this is my final season and, we're playing a kid that I'm not going to play with next year. And at that point, at 2-7, you are who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You have lost that argument.
Yes.
To try and win more games.
You're right.
With a quarterback who's not going to be on the roster next year in Salter.
Yes, that's well said. Well said. I would agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to wrap with?
No. I am, and we'll get to this maybe a little bit more tomorrow. I am interested in the mindset about the program in Boulder, as I am interested to maybe a lesser degree as to where they are right now at Colorado State with Jay Norvell at 1-4 and a huge big underdog tomorrow night against Fresno State.
Yeah.
What happened there? What happened there with a guy that you and I both really like? Really like.
Yeah.
A guy that's had success at a lot of different levels. He knows football. It seemed like such a perfect union. Colorado State on the come, new facility, blah, blah, blah. And it just hasn't worked out that way. So maybe we can delve into those two things a little bit, because I think Colorado's in kind of an interesting situation right now too. And we just touched upon it. This may be a 4-8 team, a 3-9 kind of football team. What does that really do for where we are with Colorado football, even with Coach Prime and the Prime effect?
Well, hold on a second. Let's throw into it his unfortunate health issues.
Yeah, which are just awful.
And if you come off a season in which you've won 2, 3, maybe 4 games, and I can't even imagine what he is going through right now. I know he's a guy who is a self-starter and he's very motivated and he wants to win and he's an alpha male. But it's a lot easier to come back from health issues when you have something you want to come back to.
Yeah.
Which is a winning football team.
Mm-hmm.
When you are coming off a 2, 3, 4 win season, I'm not so sure if you are as eager to come back. I'm wondering, only because of health, could this be it? And I hope it is not.
Yeah.
Or Deion Sanders, because we don't know where his health is going to turn next.
No.
I'm not saying people need to be talking about this, but he's been dealing with 2 life-threatening things.
No kidding. And that's, I mean, that's real life stuff, man. So, absolutely. So maybe we can take some time to get into that a little bit, because I do think that we have 2 very interesting storylines,
Yep.
narratives, however you want to call it, along the college football lines.
Yep.
And of course, we'll get into some more Broncos as well. But in the meantime, I'm good.
All right. I'm good too. That was Hot Takes. Goodman and Haertl. Make it the best possible day you can.